The scene opens with a misty, almost ethereal backdrop, setting the stage for a deeper story. Live for the clan, a father's words ring out, painting a picture of familial duty and expectation. It's like the motto of a house, passed down through generations. Live for the clan is what his father always said. The words hang heavy, implying that the speaker must not have personal desires, but must live in the shadow of his brother. The expectation is clear, no desires of his own. Instead, he must remain by his brother's side, like a shadow, a constant, unseen presence. The scene shifts to a group of cloaked figures, armed and ready for battle. Their presence suggests an imminent confrontation, with swords drawn and poised for action. Amidst the chaos, the ground cracks and trembles, sending dust and debris flying. Something powerful has just happened, causing an earth-shattering impact. A young warrior is on his knees, clearly struggling in the aftermath. His clothes are dark, and he appears determined, yet weary from battle. The scene cuts to a pair of feet stepping forward with confidence. The owner is clearly impressed by the spectacle before them, finding it a priceless sight. The perspective shifts to a close-up of the young warrior's face, revealing his determination and the scars from battle. He's clearly been through a rough ordeal. As if narrating the scene, someone notes the bravery of a knight who stands alone against the continent's strongest commanders. It's a testament to his valor. The focus shifts to a group of armored figures, formidable and intimidating. They seem to be the commanders spoken of, ready to engage in battle. The battlefield is stained with blood, a stark reminder of the fierce conflict that has taken place. Helmets lie abandoned on the ground, marking the fallen. In a swirl of red energy, the intense showdown begins as our mysterious protagonist stands enveloped in a fiery aura, ready for action. His opponent accuses him of being an assassin from Mist, a shadowy organization that's as elusive as fog to the Knights of Light. The tension escalates as Mist's reputation as a formidable organization is laid bare, with the Knights considering them akin to a dense fog obscuring their path. Our protagonist, with a confident smirk, promises to report back to his superiors about eliminating an impure being, clearly unfazed by the accusation. Not one to back down, the knight taunts the assassin, challenging him to try reporting back if he still has a mouth left after their encounter. With a sharp retort, the knight guarantees that the assassin won't have a tooth left once he's done with him, clearly aiming to end the confrontation decisively. The knight warns against using any secret powers, suggesting that any attempt would be futile against his prowess. With a confident stance, the assassin stands unfazed, ready to counter any move thrown his way, showing he's no pushover. A sudden realization strikes as the knight notes the presence of a 9th star magic barrier, adding urgency to the situation. The barrier creates a sense of urgency as the knight plans to escape and uncover the truth behind the situation, possibly involving his brother. With a menacing gaze, the assassin acknowledges the barrier, hinting at his readiness to unleash his true power. His eyes glow with determination as he prepares to strike. He'll just tear it to bits. That's what Cyan's shouting, as if he's about to Hulk out on something. Whoa, hold up. Somebody's telling Cyan to cool his jets. Who's the party pooper? Now, we catch a glimpse of two characters. One's rocking some serious armor bling, while the other's looking a bit like he's ready for a fantasy-themed gala. The question mark in the speech bubble says it all. Our blurred face is probably thinking, what the heck is going on here? Red energy swirls around a guy who seems to be having a moment of introspection, recalling his father's words about clan duty. Living for the clan, huh? This guy's dad seems like the motivational poster type. More wisdom from dad. Apparently, being successful is a family affair, especially if your bro's name is Ashel. Success is like a family inheritance here. Ashel's win is Cyan's win. No pressure, right? Whoa, who's this golden armored figure? Somebody's compensating for something, methinks. Armor so shiny, you can see your reflection. This guy's definitely not trying to blend in. Looks like our dark-haired hero has taken a beating. He's bleeding, and on the brink, the scene is set with a towering figure in resplendent golden armor, holding a massive sword that screams, "I'm the boss here." Beside him, a humble figure bows, possibly praying they won't get squashed. The vibe is all about power and respect, or maybe fear. The ground quakes as the armored dude steps forward, his presence so intense it cracks the floor. Meanwhile, another character, dressed in dark attire, kneels on the ground, holding on to something. It's a scene of submission, or maybe just someone realizing they've massively miscalculated. Blonde and bold, the armored guy finally reveals his face, smirking as he tells someone they seem a bit baffled by his presence. This guy is clearly used to turning heads. With a mighty swing, the caped crusader makes his move, his cloak dramatically billowing behind him like a superhero's. His target? An unlucky soul caught in a swirl of ominous red energy. Amidst the chaos, a young man with brown hair finds himself surrounded by a red aura, his face a mix of shock and confusion. He's all like, what in the world just happened? The armored figure continues his monologue, praising someone named Cyan for their loyalty and dedication. It's all about the clan, the people, and wait for it, himself. The intensity ramps up as the blurred face hints at some wild transformation. Things are getting personal as the armored guy claims his actions are for himself. The climax builds with a mysterious, unfinished sentence, leaving everyone hanging in suspense. The scene is intense as we see a mysterious blonde figure in shining armor standing over someone enveloped in a cloud of red energy. The air is thick with tension as he says, "Take the burden off your shoulders." The red aura intensifies as the person shrouded in it seems confused, asking, "I don't understand, did I do something wrong?" The mystery deepens with each word. Suddenly, we see a crimson blade slammed into the ground, the energy swirling around it like a dark aura of dread. The armored figure's eyes narrow, and with a stern voice he repeats, "Wrong?" as if questioning the very essence of the word. The accusation is clear. The armored figure declares, "That ominous fog, you're nothing more than a murderer. I can't even call you human anymore." Ouch, that's a harsh verbal smackdown. Faced with the accusation, the cloaked figure seems defeated, the red energy swirling around them, adding to the ominous atmosphere. A moment of silence, then a whisper from the armored figure, "You fooled us for long enough." The blonde knight's face is filled with righteous anger as he shouts, "Can you really say that you don't know your sins? Talk about laying it on thick." The cloaked figure, still reeling from the verbal assault, mutters to themselves, "Murderer. My sins?" Clearly in turmoil. "I worked like a dog for 20 years under you." The words echo in a fiery, dramatic fashion, setting the stage for a showdown of epic proportions. Someone's been slaving away, and they're not happy about it, folks. With an intense burst of red energy, our mystery figure steps into the light, his eyes glowing like two angry embers. This ain't no ordinary Tuesday, that's for sure. Determination etched on his face, this guy's ready to throw down, throwing caution to the wind with a fierce snarl. If looks could kill, we'd all be goners. More ominous sounds fill the air, like a drum roll for some impending doom. Whatever's coming, it promises to be big, bold, and probably a little bit fiery. It doesn't matter if my entire body breaks down. Talk about commitment. This dude's all in, body and soul, ready to unleash whatever power he has left. I will give everything I have right now. A vow of total dedication, the kind you'd expect before some serious fireworks go off. Close up on those eyes again, and they're as intense as ever. It's like he's channeling all his rage and power into one final act. If it means I can destroy you. It's clear now, this isn't just a personal beef, it's a vendetta with someone serious on the other end. Suddenly, the scene erupts in a violent explosion of red energy, as if the very air is tearing apart under the strain of this overwhelming power. From a distance, a shadowy figure stands amidst the chaos, facing down a group of armored soldiers who seem to be questioning their career choices right about now. He still has that much mana left? That's impossible. Clearly, this guy's got more tricks up his sleeve than a magician at a kid's birthday party. That's no human. The soldiers are in disbelief, staring at what they can only describe as a force of nature, not man. How silly. A voice of judgment, perhaps from a different figure, cuts through the tension like a knife, dismissing the unfolding drama. The hero is trying to kill his younger brother because he's afraid. A revelation that flips the script. This isn't just a battle. It's family drama turned up to 11. Our fiery warrior is all set for action, wielding a dagger that screams danger as it glows a wicked red. The sheer intensity in his posture suggests he's about to unleash some serious havoc. The battlefield is drenched in crimson chaos as a voice booms. "Aren't you ashamed of yourself?" It's like a verbal slap, challenging the warrior's very essence. The question hangs in the air, leaving a moment of silence before we get a glimpse of our other combatant, a stoic figure with blonde hair and a face that could easily win a poker game. The tension is palpable as the two adversaries lock gazes, the silence a stark contrast to the madness unfolding around them. The clash continues with a flurry of red and black, as both warriors unleash their power with no sign of slowing down. From a distance, the blonde warrior stands firm, blocking the fiery onslaught with sheer willpower, creating a spectacle of power and resilience. A voice echoes, "Just once." It's a plea, a challenge, or maybe just a moment of self-reflection amidst the chaos. Our flame-engulfed friend seems to have reached a decision, charging forward with everything he's got, declaring, "Once is enough." The blonde warrior, now in full armor, is ready to meet the charge head-on, looking like a medieval knight with a modern twist. The crimson blade is swung with purpose as the battle descends into an all-out brawl, each move a testament to their skill. Our fiery warrior's eyes, glowing red, reveal a plan, a strike from above aimed with precision as if saying, "It's now or never." The moment of truth is here. If he can just hit the right spot. In an electrifying scene, we witness a figure cloaked in shadows plummeting from the sky, surrounded by crackling energy. The atmosphere is charged with intensity, as if the heavens themselves are roaring in approval or dismay. As the blinding light clears, we see a cloaked figure suspended in the air, seemingly in the midst of a powerful attack, holding what appears to be an energy-infused weapon. The tension is palpable, the stakes are high, and the clash is imminent. With an exclamation of surprise, the dark figure turns suddenly, as if caught off guard by a sudden revelation or attack. The atmosphere is thick with suspense and the unexpected. Amidst the chaos, a voice rings out, "Damn it, Boris!" A name is dropped, and with it, emotions run high. A blonde knight, clad in glimmering armor, glares with eyes full of determination and anger. The scene shifts, focusing on the intricate designs of golden magic circles, hinting at powerful sorcery at play. The air is buzzing with magical energy, ready to be unleashed. The dark figure, now more visible, seems to be on the receiving end of a taunt, "You poor bastard." It's a battle of wills and words, and the intensity only escalates. A fierce exchange of blows ensues, with the dark figure taking a hit that sends sparks flying. The action is fast and furious, each move precise and deadly. A weapon imbued with dark energy is flung through the air, leaving a trail of crimson light. It's a scene that screams danger and promises destruction. Amidst the confrontation, a voice filled with regret and resolve declares, "I wanted to do you the favor of giving you a painless death since you are my brother, but you have shown your true colors." The revelation of a familial bond adds a layer of complexity to the already tense battle. The final standoff is revealed, the knight standing tall and imposing, his armor gleaming in the aftermath of the clash. The dark figure, revealed as Boris, is visibly wounded, yet the confrontation hasn't ended. With piercing blue eyes and a firm resolve, the knight coldly states, "I knew that was what you were from the start, a demon." The words are final, the truth cutting deeper than any sword. "It's a good thing I never trusted you to begin with." Our protagonist, with blood trickling down his face, stands defiant in the face of betrayal. A moment of silence follows as the weight of the situation hangs heavy in the air. Suddenly, the scene erupts into chaos as a formidable knight, clad in golden armor, strikes down our protagonist with a powerful weapon. The aftermath of the attack is clear, with debris scattered around and the echo of the strike still lingering. With a commanding presence, the knight turns away, signaling his subordinate with a simple pong. "Let's go." From the ground, a voice answers back, "Yes, sir," acknowledging the command. In the midst of the rubble, our protagonist, wounded and defeated, mutters a single frustrated word, "Damn it." He lies there, battered and bruised, his body a testament to the brutal confrontation he just endured. Amidst the swirling dust and debris, a thought crosses his mind. Is this my end? His face, marred by battle, reflects a sense of resignation and reflection. A realization dawns upon him, what a foolish life I've led, as he contemplates his past choices. His eyes, barely open, hint at the struggle within as he chastises himself. Stupid. The air crackles with tension as an ominous sound effect sets the scene for a dramatic confrontation. As the camera pans out, we meet a majestic figure with blonde hair and gleaming golden armor, exuding an aura of authority and power. Suddenly, a dark-haired figure, eyes burning with determination, launches towards the armored figure with incredible speed, clearly ready to throw down. The armored figure, caught off guard, reacts with a surprised shout as the assailant closes in. With a fierce expression and a powerful cry, the dark-haired figure unleashes a forceful attack. The clash of energies is so intense that it sends shockwaves through the air, giving a visual feast of power and chaos. A brilliant explosion of light and sound rocks the scene, making it clear that these two aren't just playing around. The aftermath of the explosive clash leaves both figures reeling, silhouetted by the fading light. As the dust settles, the scene fades to black, leaving us hanging in suspense. A voice echoes through the darkness, calling out for young Master Cyan with urgency and concern. Breathing heavily, a sense of panic fills the air as the call for young Master Cyan continues. Meet Emily, a maid with a voice like a fire alarm, demanding to know how long someone plans to snooze. Emily's rocking the classic maid outfit, looking ready to tackle the day with some serious attitude. She's not done yet. Emily insists the young master needs to get his act together and prepare for the day. The young master, still half asleep, is startled and blurts out Emily's name in shock. Confusion reigns as the young master wonders why Emily is even there. The young master's brain is doing somersaults as he lets out a confused, "huh." A bead of sweat trickles down his face as he processes the situation. Memory lane alert. It's been nearly 2 decades since the young master last saw Emily. Surprise, surprise! Emily hasn't aged a day since he last laid eyes on her. The young master recognizes the room. It's his old digs from back in the day. Even the furniture arrangement hasn't changed one bit since his younger years. And then, a sudden realization hits him like a ton of bricks. Wait! The scene opens with a young boy, eyes wide with shock, as he holds his face in disbelief. He seems to be experiencing a moment of existential crisis, his fingers trembling as if he's just seen a ghost. Whoa, buddy, did you check the mirror this morning? The boy's internal monologue is screaming, "Am I back to being a child?" It's like waking up from a dream, only to find out you're in another one. Talk about a mind bender. A maid bursts into the room, calling him young Master Cyan. Now this adds a whole new layer of weirdness. Is this a dream, a prank, or some sort of role-playing game gone wrong? The boy is visibly confused, letting out a "huh" as he tries to piece together his surroundings. Poor guy, he's acting like he just woke up in a parallel universe. The maid, with a stern expression, accuses him of stalling to avoid training. She clearly has no idea about the internal chaos going on in his head. Training? What kind of training are we talking about here? The maid is not having any of his antics. Make up your mind and get going, she demands. Meanwhile, he's still processing the whole back to being a kid thing. This morning just keeps getting weirder. Still trying to wrap his head around the concept of training, he echoes, "Training?" with a puzzled look. This kid's day just went from 0 to 100 real quick. He sits up, trying to get his bearings, looking around the room as if it holds the answers to his sudden transformation. Spoiler alert, it probably doesn't. As the maid stands over him, casting a shadow, he's left pondering, what training? This is not your typical morning routine, folks. The scene is set in the Vert clan duchy, an impressive and sprawling estate with towering rooftops and grand architecture. The place is introduced as a significant setting for our tale. As we pan across the majestic buildings, it's clear that this place is steeped in history, its walls likely holding stories untold. The character's silhouette appears against the backdrop of the duchy, triggering a realization. They're back in time, in a familiar place from the past. Now fully immersed in their surroundings, the character reflects on their situation, pondering if this is akin to a life flashing before death scenario. As they piece together their memories, the character remembers a specific date, 27 years ago, March 1st, Foundation year 985. This revelation seems crucial. We are taken to a grand hall bustling with people, hinting at a significant event or gathering in the duchy's calendar. The character recalls it was a year before they entered the academy, adding another layer to their already swirling thoughts. The annual tradition of a dual training session held by the duchy is highlighted, suggesting its importance to the plot. The scene shifts to my father, the Grand Duke Vert, is attending this event, making it the social gathering of the year. Everyone's got their fancy hats on, but I'm just here trying not to trip over my own feet. Now, here's the kicker. My opponent for today is none other than Kranz Vert. Yeah, that's right, my half-brother, and we're the same age. Ain't that a family reunion? Kranz is all smiles, probably because his mom, Margaret Erzeth, is the Duke's wife. Meanwhile, I'm over here trying not to spill the family tea. Kranz and I, the young guns of the family, but he's getting all the spotlight while I'm just trying to find my place in the shadows. Being the bastard son isn't exactly a walk in the park. I mean, I might as well have a neon sign that says Outcast. And after that embarrassing fight, where I was basically the punchline to everyone's joke, my confidence has hit rock bottom. Now, here comes a shadowy figure, warning me not to try anything. Like, dude, I wasn't planning on running a marathon or anything. Ah, there's my father, with his back turned, probably contemplating more important things, like which monocle to wear tomorrow. This duel, this whole mess, is the reason my father has basically why don't you just surrender instead? A voice echoes, but our protagonist isn't backing down. It's fine. I just need to win, he replies, fueled by determination. With a rapier in hand, he faces his opponent, his mind swirling with thoughts. The maid's condescending gaze doesn't help, but it only strengthens his resolve. Ha, even a maid is looking down on me, he thinks, feeling the weight of expectations, yet standing his ground. As the duel looms, his face reflects intense concentration. His eyes, wide and determined, signal his readiness to face whatever comes. It's just a rapier, but it's so heavy. He muses, struggling with a weapon that feels strangely burdensome, hinting at something deeper. Standing firm, the young master is advised not to get hurt as the maid waves him on. His attire is neat, but his mind is in turmoil. My strength is the same as when I was this age. He realizes, caught in a peculiar situation where his body feels younger. This sensation, it's definitely not a dream, nor is my life flashing before my eyes. He concludes, puzzled by the vividness of his experience. I've never even heard of a magic spell that is capable of creating such strong illusions either. He ponders, realizing this isn't some magic trick. Am I really back in the past? His eyes widen as the gravity of the situation dawns on him. Is this a second chance? You didn't run off, huh? The question hangs in the air as he steels himself for the duel, the arena filled with spectators. Facing his opponent, the atmosphere is tense. Both are ready, swords drawn, under the watchful gaze of the audience. Then maybe I can change the future? He wonders, hope sparking within as he contemplates the possibility of rewriting his destiny. Meet our main dude, rocking that black-haired, mysterious vibe. He's got his game face on, ready for whatever comes next. A sudden declaration, let's begin. The air is thick with anticipation as another character steps up to the plate, ready to throw down. A blonde guy, all decked out in some military-esque attire, steps up. This ain't your average handshake meeting, folks. The sound of footsteps echoes as the blonde charges forward, sword raised, ready to make his mark. His opponent, our black-haired hero, just stands there like, really, dude? The blonde's all caught up in the moment, demanding attention. The blonde's going all out, swinging his sword with a grin that screams mischief, and maybe a little madness. Our black-haired hero's response? A casual what? He's clearly not breaking a sweat. Is he a snail? Our hero's unimpressed thoughts spill out, as if the blonde is moving in slow motion. Meanwhile, our hero's feet are planted firmly on the ground, ready for action, or maybe just boredom. Blonde dude's face is a mix of shock and determination, as if realizing he might be out of his league. His expression shifts, a bit of panic setting in as reality hits him. The clash! But wait, the scene is set for an epic showdown as a frustrated blonde-haired fighter accuses his opponent of cowardice for dodging his attacks. With swift movements, both fighters engage in a fierce exchange of blows, their swords clashing with intensity. The duel intensifies as the dark-haired fighter skillfully evades the blonde's aggressive strikes, countering with precision. A quick footwork maneuver puts the dark-haired fighter in an advantageous position, causing the blonde to stumble. With a powerful strike, the dark-haired fighter lands a decisive blow, further destabilizing the blonde opponent. A tense moment ensues as the blonde fighter, drenched in sweat and determination, grits his teeth and tries to recover. The intensity of the duel is palpable as both fighters continue to push their limits. A dramatic turn of events unfolds as the blonde fighter cries out in pain, struggling to maintain his stance. The dark-haired fighter stands tall, observing his fallen opponent with a calculating gaze. In a moment of panic, the blonde fighter's supporters, including a woman with curly blonde hair, call out his name in alarm. The tension builds as the woman and another spectator express their concern, their eyes wide with worry. With a confident internal monologue, the dark-haired fighter contemplates the final move to secure his victory. The duel is on the verge, but that's not enough. Our protagonist grips tightly onto a weapon, determination burning in their eyes. When I was this age, Crayons always bullied me as his form of entertainment. The memory of Crayons, with a devilish smirk, kicking them while they were down, haunts them. That bullying continued in the academy too, with Crayons' sinister laughter echoing through those halls. So I need to really stomp him down so that he can never try to do anything to me again. Flames of rage and resolve blaze in the protagonist's eyes. The fiery intensity in their gaze shows they're not backing down this time. In this life, the protagonist decides to rewrite their destiny. Standing tall, they've knocked Crayons to the ground, a reversal of roles that's as satisfying as a plot twist. I will now pave a path on my own, for myself. The protagonist is ready to take control of their fate. Crayons' eyes widen in shock as he realizes the tables have turned. The terror in Crayons' face is undeniable as he sweats bullets, finally tasting his own medicine. The page ends with an intense, dramatic sound effect, leaving us ready for what's next. Welcome to the world of regression and betrayal. This story kicks off with a chapter title that sets the stage for the drama to unfold. We've got a lot to unpack, so buckle up. A blank page, the calm before the storm, perhaps? Our first scene introduces us to Crayons, who unfortunately finds himself face-planted on the ground. Yep, folks, Crayons has lost the duel, and it's not looking good for him. The Duke is calling the shots, and our narrator has been summoned. The Duke's cleared his schedule, which means something big is about to go down. Entering the grand hallway, our protagonist wonders if his victory in the duel was really that impressive. I mean, when the Duke's involved, you know it's serious business. Meet Yulkin, the high-class knight who's got the protagonist's back. This dude is legit, directly affiliated with the Duke himself. Talk about fancy bodyguards. Yulkin continues to escort our young protagonist, but who should they encounter? A mysterious lady and her companion, striding down the hall with purpose. Our protagonist seems to be in a cheeky mood, thinking to himself about the lady's conversation. Kukuk, she looks like she stepped in something unpleasant. He flashes a smile and inquires, "Is Crayons okay?" Oh, the audacity. The lady, clearly not amused, glares down with an expression that could melt steel. "Madam?" seems to be the question on everyone's mind. Her fury is unleashed. How dare he ask about Crayons after beating his own brother like that? She's got some... Should I just kill her? Our mysterious protagonist ponders a dark decision, but quickly decides against it, opting for something far more twisted. He knows how to make her suffer. With eyes that could pierce the soul, our character resolves. No, a sinister smile creeps onto his face, promising a slow, painstaking torment. The plan is set. He knows better than anyone how to make her suffer, and it won't be quick. The game of revenge is about to get painfully slow. With a menacing smirk, he vows to torture her, slowly, painstakingly slowly. This isn't just about vengeance, it's personal. In a grand hall, a blonde duchess, who seems to have quite the attitude, informs our protagonist that she's headed to the academy with Crayons. She seems to expect him to care. Unfazed, our protagonist shoots back with a simple, "What exactly is your point?" He's not buying whatever she's selling. With a chillingly calm demeanor, he responds, "I'm sure you want your son to graduate with his limbs intact, right?" He's not bluffing, and she knows it. The tension thickens as he continues. "I guess you're not that worried about him, huh, Duchess?" His words are laced with a dangerous edge. Her eyes flash with anger and shock as she spits out, "You." Clearly, she's not used to being challenged. The Duchess, now fully enraged, calls him a vulgar piece of shit and demands to know how he dares to speak to her that way. The confrontation reaches its peak as she lunges at him, her fury fueling every step. The scene unfolds with a young knight, swathed in glinting armor, striking a pose of confidence. He seems to be apologizing to someone, presumably the Duchess, with a smirk that suggests he's got everything under control. The knight follows up his apology with a reason, explaining that the Duke has summoned someone urgently. The blurred face of another character suggests the presence of someone important, the tension rising with every word. Standing beside the knight, a young boy in a vest and tie looks on, while the Duchess, dressed in a flowing yellow gown, seems a bit miffed. The knight expresses that they can't delay any longer, hinting at the urgency of their task. A close-up of a man's intense golden eyes suggests a determination that's hard to miss. This guy's not messing around. With a firm resolve, the man declares that it's time to get moving. His expression is all business, no nonsense. The Duchess appears somewhat speechless, perhaps a bit perturbed by the turn of events, as the knight's armor gleams ominously. Standing by, the Duchess and a maid seem to be processing the situation. The Duchess' expression is all about composure, while the maid looks like she's seen a ghost. The young boy, now with a mischievous grin, seems to find the whole situation amusing. The Duke's orders are absolute in his mind, and he's loving it. The boy's hand moves to his mouth, stifling a laugh. He's clearly enjoying the show. The knight stands tall, his face partially blurred, but his presence undeniable. The boy reflects on being under the knight's protection, the order given by the Duke. The young boy seems impressed by the knight's steadfastness, noting his refusal to bend to the Duchess' wishes. In his eyes, that's a knight worth trusting. The title of the series appears, teasing the knock, knock, someone's at the door, and it seems important. The anticipation builds as a voice from inside gives the green light to enter. What could be waiting behind that door? As the door creaks open, we hear a simple yet commanding "come in." The room's atmosphere is thick with authority and significance. Inside, we see a grand room with a desk cluttered with scrolls and papers, bathed in sunlight streaming through the grand windows. A young figure stands before a towering man in a majestic red cape, his back turned, exuding power. Meet Cyan, the youngest child from the House of Vert, stepping up to greet his father after an awkwardly long 15-year gap. Talk about a delayed family reunion. Cyan's internal monologue reveals it's been almost 15 years since he last had a one-on-one with his father. It's about time for some serious father-son bonding. Enter Duke Willius Vert, the man, the myth, the legend himself. His presence is as commanding as his title suggests. Duke Vert, the big boss of the western feud of Velius in the Ushif Empire, casually offers a seat. He's not just any lord. He's a big deal around these parts. The world, however, knows him by a different name. He's not just Duke Vert. He's the Guardian of the Continent, a title that carries weight and responsibility. The Guardian of the Continent, a figure clad in armor, stands proud and mighty, a beacon of hope and strength. This legendary hero, known for halting the demon invasions with his magic and wisdom, is a symbol of strength and valor. In a flashback of epic battles, Duke Vert, on horseback, leads the charge against monstrous enemies. The stakes are high, and the battle is fierce. Duke Vert took on a colossal responsibility, fighting the Demon King's army valiantly until his very end. The golden light bathes the face of a mature man with a thoughtful look in his eyes, deep in contemplation. His rugged yet handsome features are highlighted, giving off a vibe of someone who's seen the world and is determined to change it. In the dim light, a resolute statement fills the space. All he wanted was peace for the entire continent, a lofty dream. But is he the one to make it happen? Flashbacks show a cozy room where two men sit in a deep conversation, surrounded by the warmth of books. The older man is seen relaxed, while the younger man's face is blurred, evoking a sense of mystery. The narrative unfolds, describing a man who used his free will to serve others, perhaps at the cost of his own dreams. The storyteller's memories paint a different picture than the man's ambition for peace. The young man, still a blur, is labeled as a stupid man, adding a humorous twist. Oh, the things people say, but maybe there's more to him than meets the eye. The older man, now fully visible, praises the young man's keen reflexes. His eyes, sharp and calculating, catch every movement, dodging a sword with finesse. Decked in a uniform with a cape, the older man exudes authority and confidence. Arms crossed, he seems both impressed and intrigued by the young man's skills. The young man's features finally come into focus, revealing a youthful face with intense eyes caught in a moment of surprise. He's wearing a white shirt and a blue tie, looking formal and slightly bewildered. The young man, caught off guard, responds with a simple, "Huh?" as the older man recounts the moment Crayons charged at him. Flashback to a moment of action where the young man, dressed in a vest and shorts, skillfully dodges a sword attack, revealing agility and quick thinking. The young man's face is filled with concentration as he deftly avoids the swinging sword, showcasing a natural talent for combat. The older man's face, half obscured, conveys curiosity and perhaps a hint of admiration as he questions the young man's unexpected prowess. With a gentle inquiry, the older man asks, "When did you learn how to wield a sword?" hinting at a newfound respect and an opportunity for deeper understanding between them. As the scene opens, we find ourselves in a library-like setting where a conversation is unfolding. One character remarks on the sharpness of the other, who modestly claims he didn't learn his skills but practiced them every night on his own. It's clear this character wasn't initially interested in swordsmanship. Continuing the conversation, the focus shifts to the revelation of hidden talents. The character in the military-style uniform questions the other about his lack of interest in swordsmanship, noting the contrast between his apparent disinterest and his skill. In an intriguing moment, the character in uniform asks why the other hid his excellent skills. The question hangs in the air, begging for an answer. A bit of hesitation shows as the character admits he didn't want to catch others' attention. However, he went all out in taking down someone named Crayons, despite his reluctance. The plot thickens as the conversation hints at something more significant. Even though the character didn't want to stand out, his actions against Crayons suggest otherwise. There's a "but" lingering in the air, hinting at a deeper story. A close-up of the character's eye indicates a moment of realization or concern. What is he thinking or about to reveal? The character in uniform questions the necessity of the other's actions, implying there might have been a more profound motivation behind it. With a subtle gesture, the conversation continues. The character in uniform seems to press on with his questioning, his intentions still unclear. The internal monologue of the character reveals suspicion about the other's questioning. Is he trying to get a sense of his capabilities? The character's thoughts betray his anxiety, as he wonders if the other is testing his limits. What is the real purpose behind these questions? The character finally admits he wanted to prove himself, suggesting a personal motivation driving his actions. Curiosity peaks as the character inquires further. Here we have a young lad confidently declaring that he's better than Crayons, even though they share the same DNA cocktail. He's got that look of someone who's about to prove himself in a big way. Cut to a suave, older dude, probably the one running the show here, who's deciphering the situation as a duel's deeper meaning. Things are getting serious, folks. Now the young man, looking sharp in his vest and tie combo, is suddenly faced with this guy's creepy chuckle. "What's so funny, Blondie?" "Ah, turns out Mr. Chuckles thinks our boy's got a good head on his shoulders," appreciating his clear and concise answer. Flattery or manipulation? You decide. More chuckles from the mystery man with a blurred face. He's clearly amused by something, maybe a potential prodigy in the making. Surprise, surprise. The older guy is tickled pink by the young one's hidden talents. He's thoroughly impressed, almost giddy. Fast forward, and we find out he has big plans for our hero. He sees him as a key player, supporting someone named Ashel. Big shoes to fill, eh? Our young protagonist is thrown for a loop. His expression says it all. What the heck is going on here? Dark vibes alert. The pressure is on as our hero is caught in a whirlwind of expectation and identity crisis. Flashing forward to a dramatic scene, a knightly figure with an imposing presence is in the middle of a fierce battle. Our hero is questioning his role, and it's not looking cozy. The battle scene continues, and there's a sense of déjà vu. It's like our young friend is trapped in a never-ending cycle of the same old story. Enter the intense gaze of a blond man, eyes sharp as daggers. He's got a serious case of tunnel vision, focused on Ashel. And the final twist, Blondie. The scene opens with a hand placed firmly on a table, as someone is about to make a serious declaration. The mood is intense, like right before a mic drop. Someone is being generous, offering a reward for a duel. but it's not exactly a shiny trophy, more like a little something-something for their troubles. The offer is laid on the table. If you want something, you can tell me. The stakes are high, and the mystery is thick. Then, with fiery determination in their eyes, the character declares, "It'll destroy everything." Talk about someone who knows what they want. The rage is real, as they plan to wipe out everything Ashel tried to do. Revenge is served hot, with a side of intense glare. The character, looking pretty intense, declares, "What I want," setting the stage for some serious business. A moment of suspense, like the calm before a storm, leaving us hanging on what's about to unfold. Suddenly, a character, looking shocked and a bit sweaty, blurts out, "You said you want to enter the battlefront." Like, whoa, plot twist. The shock is still fresh, as the character's hands are up in the air, probably thinking, this is some next-level crazy. Sitting on a bed, a character with a pixelated face remains calm, while the other is losing their mind, screaming. "This is driving me crazy." Yeah, I'd say that's an understatement. With a voice full of disbelief, a character yells, "Are you out of your mind? Do you have any idea what kind of place that is?" It's like they just heard the wildest plan ever. Picture a hellish landscape with glowing-eyed beasts. The character is scared out of their wits, surrounded by demonic creatures, screaming, "It's swarming!" Finally, the character describes the nightmarish scene, with wicked and terrifying demonic beasts all over the place. Safe to say, they're not signing up for a vacation there. Velius, the western feud of the Ushif Empire, is the place we find ourselves in. It's not just any spot. It's the only one labeled as a battlefront on the entire continent. Now, even within Velius, there's the Lamea Valley, the front line of this war-torn landscape. And this valley isn't just called the front line for kicks. It's a fierce battlefield where clashes with demons have raged on, and the little amount of magic I sense from within me. Cyan reflects, realizing he possesses just a smidge of magic. He's got a plan cooking up in that noggin of his, and it smells like ambition. Cyan looks at his hands, which are tingling with a faint magical aura. If he trains this body as per his capability, he can definitely make good use of it. He's pumped and ready to hit the magical gym. Great, I'm going to start training right from today. No time like the present, right? Cyan is all set to unleash his inner magic beast. The door swings open with a bang, and someone calls out, "Cyan!" Looks like our boy's plan might have an unexpected twist. The scene reveals Cyan sitting on the bed, a maid in the background, and a mysterious figure entering. It's about to get interesting. Suddenly, a hand is grabbing Cyan's collar. A voice is barely heard as the intensity of the moment escalates. The camera pans to reveal Alice, a fierce woman with long blue hair and a confident stance. She looks like she means business. "Alice?" Cyan exclaims in shock. Seems like he's caught off guard by her sudden appearance. Alice has Cyan by the collar, demanding answers. "How have you been, Miss Alice?" he manages to ask, trying to keep it cool while being shaken like a rag doll. With a fire in her eyes, Alice accuses, "I heard you asked Father to send you to the battlefront." Talk about a dramatic entrance. "Alice, let me go first." The sweet taste of victory. Our hero just took down Crans, but it seems like he's getting a little big-headed about it. Alice, his sharp-tongued companion with her blue hair braided like a warrior princess, gives him a reality check. She suspects that defeating Crans has inflated his ego a bit too much. Alice isn't impressed, and she's got that "we need to have a serious talk" tone. "This won't do," she declares, clearly not satisfied with his current attitude. Alice, in her no-nonsense way, commands, "Come with me to the rooftop." You can feel the intensity just radiating from her. Her expression screams determination, and she's definitely not joking around. Whatever's about to go down, it's happening on the rooftop, no questions asked. Empty space, the calm before the storm, perhaps. We get a glimpse of a grand, mystical building under the night sky, the kind of place where epic showdowns are bound to happen. The scene shifts with an eerie silence. Something big is about to unfold. Our protagonist walks towards the battleground, sword in hand, ready for whatever Alice has planned. The night air is tense with anticipation. Alice lays down the law, endure her attacks for 3 minutes, and he can head to the battlefront. No pressure, right? Our hero looks up with a mix of determination and doubt. It's like he's asking himself, can I really pull this off? He questions Alice's intensity, wondering if this is really necessary. You can sense the wariness in his voice. Alice is having none. All right, folks, we're diving into a spicy family showdown. Our fierce lady here is questioning someone's intentions, asking if they're after the family's title. Those eyes mean business. Now, we switch over to a mysterious young lad. He's piecing things together, realizing the reason behind her actions. It's like a wait-a-minute moment, folks. Hold up, our young friend isn't interested in that family title drama at all. But hey, the duel's been called, and it looks like we're about to see some swordplay. Get ready! Our lady warrior draws her sword with flair. She's suited up in some sleek white and gold armor, ready to kick some serious butt. Things are about to heat up. Meanwhile, our young hero is reminiscing about his recent duel with someone named Kranz. This day just keeps on giving, doesn't it? Chaos, chaos everywhere. Our boy's been through the ringer today, and now he's about to face off in another epic duel. Can he handle the pressure? And they're off. Our hero dashes forward, ready to meet the challenge head-on. What's going to happen next? Whoa, plot twist. Our young hero looks shocked, but there's no time to dwell on it. This duel is about to get real intense. Boom, the clash of swords echoes as our lady warrior and young hero engage in an epic duel. Sparks are flying, and so are they. Surprise, surprise! Our lady warrior can't believe her eyes. This 10-year-old just blocked her attack. Looks like she's underestimated him. Our young hero is in the zone now, eyes blazing with determination. He's not backing down, no sir. Sibling rivalry alert. Turns out, they're siblings, and the older sister. A swift swing of the sword lights up the night as a mysterious figure with long, flowing blue hair raises her sword high. The energy of the battle is electric, as if the blade is channeling the very essence of the stormy sky. With a dramatic pose, the swordswoman faces her opponent, ready for whatever comes next. The battleground is set, and both fighters are poised for an epic duel under the starry night. A brief pause in the action reveals a thought. A rapier, known for its lightness, makes for a swift and elegant weapon. But can it hold its own against the might of a longsword? Our blue-haired heroine stands confidently, the rapier in hand, as she faces her opponent. Her attire is elegant yet practical, perfect for a fierce battle. Despite the odds, she effortlessly parries a powerful strike from her opponent's longsword, leaving them momentarily stunned. Is it skill or just a stroke of luck? As the duel continues, the opponent wonders if luck is on her side. With a hint of doubt, they question if her success was merely fortuitous. The tension rises as her opponent admits to being impressed, noticing her keen intuition. The name Cyan is uttered, hinting at familiarity. In a moment of surprise, the opponent calls out, "Hey, Alice," revealing a connection between the two combatants. The plot thickens. Back to the heart of the battle, the air crackles with energy as swords clash, sending sparks flying. The intensity of the fight is palpable. With a dynamic move, the blue-haired warrior skillfully dodges and retaliates, showcasing her agility and prowess. The action-packed scene continues with a blur of movement and the sound of clashing steel. In the heat of battle, an exclamation, "Hup!" echoes through the air as a foot swings into action, setting the stage for an intense showdown. Our protagonist, a determined young man with sharp eyes and black hair, skillfully blocks a powerful strike with a steel object. His expression is a mix of concentration and grit, clearly not backing down. Sparks fly as metal clashes against metal, a testament to the intensity of the ongoing duel. The scene captures the sheer force and precision of the combatants. A mysterious figure, with flowing hair and an aura of authority, enters the fray. Though their face remains obscured, their presence adds a new layer of intrigue to the battle. In a dramatic twist, the mysterious figure lunges forward, sword in hand, aiming directly at our protagonist. The clash is fierce, and the stakes are higher than ever. With a close-up on the mysterious figure's intense eyes, their determination is unmistakable. The question mark hanging in the air hints at the unexpected turn of events, leaving us